So you probably have seen this video by Ginger Ninja since it was in everyone's recommended feed, at least for me. But I'm doing that, so maybe I should explain things a bit further. Basically, I'm going to roll a Pokemon from random Pokemon generator. That Pokemon and another Pokemon will give me a type to work with and a Pokemon to work with. I have to pick a Pokemon, I have to pick a type, I have to draw them type swapped. I'll be doing this with a friend of mine, Red Rain, and he will have a video of doing the exact same thing over on his channel. This is my drawing, he'll be in the end bit, where we talk about the Pokemon, and vice versa for his channel. These videos should be going up at the same time. His should be linked at the end of the video. See you then. Running into random Pokemon generator, I ended up with Tapu Lele and Brionne. I decided to go with a pure fairy Brionne, even though I knew it would end up probably being part water type. Because it's a sea lion. How does that not end up being a water type unless it's already dual type with another type, like a Sui and Quillfish? Either way. So I decided, since I ended up with Tapu Lele and Brionne, to make a pure fairy, magical girl inspired Brionne. Even though it'll end up probably being dual water type because we're dealing with a sea lion here. I can't really not make that a water type. It's an ocean creature. But let's get into the concept. So I started out with tracing Brionne's existing design so I could make sure I got the right body shape and change what I needed to before it became its own design. Because again, I want to make sure it still looks like Brionne. So I decided to change its dress to be more rounded with spikes to represent characters like Madoka from Madoka Magica, and then tried to curl up the hair and shorten it. I overall enjoyed it so far, but I was trying to figure out a way to make the dress still fit. So I decided to make it out of coral. It isn't distinctly water, but it's not distinctly makes no sense. I colored the skin pink and white to be more fairy type-esque, and that was pretty much it for the first design, aside from adding a belt made of bubbles and a stick to be a wand, or some sort of weapon. The second design ended up being almost exactly the same, but decided to cut the hair braids out instead, replacing them with ponytails. I tried bowing up each one individually, but I ended up finding it a lot easier just to put the two ponytails on the side and put a large bow in the center, as well as move the wand into Brionne's other hand. I actually really like this design, and it's probably what I'm going to go with. So, let's end up seeing what the next and final time-lapse thing is going to be. So with the design concept pretty much finalized, I started to get to sketching. And I hate Brionne's head shape. Animal head shapes suck. Why are they so much harder than human head shapes? Which are pretty much circles with hair, since I draw chibis. Look, Brionne's just body shape was a pain to draw. And then I still couldn't get the bow right, but I worked on that, got what I was happy with. Then I realized, hey, Brionne's nose looks too big. So I ended up spending, genuinely, I think, 20 or so minutes fiddling around with the size in total. It only was one in this, it was a few separate parts, but, I could not get a size I was happy with. I forgot about the eyes till the very end. And I decided to try a completely new type of shading in this drawing that I've never done before. It was a complete mess. And I still think it turned out pretty decent, considering I'm not really a person who draws animals that often, and I really do want to get better about that. I am not gonna lie, I can't really draw animals, but I really want to get better. And then the design for the shiny is kind of more based off of a kind of anti-hero of a magical girl anime. After all, we are talking about a Pokemon I based on magical girls. Honestly, I really liked the design. It's just, I can't really draw animals. It's a great concept. I love it. But I need to get better at drawing animals before we do another one of these, and I hopefully will.
Okay. Oh, it's very nice. It definitely has that, it has, let's see, the coloring is right, I like how it's what's the best way to put it? The outfit really blends in well to the actual design. I like the I like the ribbons. And is that even like a ribbon as like an eyelash kind of thing?
It's more just an eyelash, but it is shaped like a ribbon. So it's like, that's more of a, I don't know. There as a more, it is just meant to be an eyelash, but repeating shapes makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it really blends into it there. The obviously happy-go-lucky expression and whatnot. Yeah, I think it really fits the fairy theme.
Anyway, it has a shiny.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you really want the extra mile then. Yeah.
Well, it isn't that hard. It's just changing a few colors.
True. I need to do that. But yes, it's one of those things where, yeah, it's kind of gives like a bit of a darker feel, kind of like, I know I've seen a few shows before, kind of like Evil Magical Girl kind of style. Kind of like conflicting with the other one, which is actually a good thing in this case.
Yeah. And just quick, ironically, their color palettes are taken from two separate characters in Madoka Magica, respectively.
Oh, okay.
Because that is my favorite magical girl anime, because it's so freaking unique.
Well, there you go. But, oh, yeah, I like it. It's very nice. Yeah.
And then here's a little Pokédex screen.
Oh, wow. You really put some effort into this. I like this this kind of template here. I'm gonna have to come up with something on my own.
I just used a gradient in the background and then just circles.
Okay.
But it ended up being a dual water type. What are you gonna do? It's a sea lion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Brionne swims around in the waters of Hoenn looking for shiny objects. It often finds shiny diamond-shaped crystals. It loves attention and feeling helpful. It usually helps stuck wailords. It picks up things such as the pearls around its waist.
Yeah, and then the ability Torrent and hidden ability Liquid Voice.
That's literally just Brionne's normal abilities.
Okay. It's been a while since I played Sun and Moon, but yes.
Well, it's a water-type starter. Everyone has Torrent.
Yeah. Yeah, I quite like this. Wow. Yeah, I even went with the height and the...
Which are also copied exactly. But I honestly don't think this thing should ever be male. Brionne, as a Pokemon, should not have an 80% chance to be a dude.
I think 87.5, if I recall correctly. Like, all starters. I don't know, that's just a thing.
It's stupid. So I changed its gender ratio.
Yeah.
Because this thing should not be male. Ever.
Yeah, it seems a little out of place.
Worse than a male Lopunny.
We don't talk about that. But yeah, I quite like it. You went all out for this. Yeah, very nicely done.
Again, I was bored.
If you want to see Red Rain's perspective, there's a link on screen. If not, see you in the next one.